Good morning, Steve with CCI. For the past 25 years, we've helped over 4,000 laundries automate their business so they can work on it instead of in it. At the same time, maximize their profit potential. This morning, I wanted to talk about serial integration. It's a little bit of a technical conversation, but I'm going to break it down because it's really important to understand as an operator that's looking to add a payment system, particularly to their business. Back in the old days, 25 years ago, all of the laundry equipment on the market was fairly simple to start. We emulated a coin drop. So a coin drop is a very simple device. Every coin that drops in, it essentially closes a relay, basically pushes a switch, and the microprocessor or the timer in some instances on washers and dryers would interpret that little push button switch as a coin, and it would count them until the vend was satisfied, and then the machine would start. So our card reader, and still to this day, has relays and a series of harnesses that we use that can emulate what a coin drop looks like. So it can pulse, as we call that, pulse the machine to start. Very simple. But as laundry equipment evolved and we see more microprocessors and computers being added to laundry equipment, the options on the microprocessor became more involved. You can now charge more for a hot cycle than you do for a cold cycle. You can upsell the customer for an extra rinse, an extra wash, a longer spin. There's all kinds of options and upgrades that the computers on the machines can now leverage to help you get a higher vend for the cycles, which is great. In order for the payment system to know what options the retail customer has selected on that microprocessor, the payment system, the card reader, and the computer on the washer or dryer need to be able to talk to each other. And that's what I mean by serial integration. It is basically two computers communicating with each other. And in that is a lot of nuance. The protocol, basically the language that the card reader and the computer on the machine talk to each other, is devised and designed by the equipment manufacturer. So we have to follow their specifications. And so whatever parameters, whatever settings that they allow us to view, control, edit, monitor is all driven by the payment manufacturer, or excuse me, by the equipment manufacturer. So we have, over the last 20 years, since microprocessors became more popular, added more serial integrations. We call that connectivity a serial integration to our card reader lineup. And we are currently interfaced with basically every major manufacturer of laundry equipment in the United States, that is sold in the United States, I should say. And it's really important that you know this and that you pay attention to this, because if you purchase some really advanced equipment that has a lot of capabilities, you want to make sure that your payment system supports it. Otherwise, you might have the ability to upsell somebody on a longer wash or a longer rinse, but you have no way to charge them for it through your payment system. And if it's done correctly, which we spend an enormous amount of development time trying to ensure, it should be relatively seamless to you and to your users, so that when they choose hot, choose cold, choose extra wash, super wash, extra rinse, whatever the options are on the machine, that the payment system knows what they selected, presents the correct price to the customer, allows them to pay, and the cycle continues. It's a nuance that I believe that many people don't think about. They shouldn't have to think about. But when you're researching and shopping for a payment system, ensuring that that payment system can interface with your machine is critical. And there are many systems on the market that do not interface with all of the major brands. And if they do interface, their interface may be what I would call kind of cheating. They may be using kind of tricks and require the customer to push extra buttons on the machine where you would normally not have to. If the integration is implemented correctly, it should be seamless. So serial integration is an important thing to think about when you're shopping for a payment system, when you're shopping for laundry equipment. How does it interface with the payment system you're interested in? And it's always good to reach out to us. We can tell you what we have done and how we integrate with machines. There are other nuances that I won't go into this morning about controlling the machines, cycles, and that sort of thing. But ask the question when you shop for equipment, when you shop for payment system, how the serial integration works. That's serial integration.